What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the C's for Class. No tea, no shade, just opinions. Well, as I'm filming this video, I'm done with Wednesday, okay? I'm done. I'm over the hump, which means it is almost Friday. First of all, let me start out by saying, sorry you guys, this video is way late. I just finished doing a show. My schedule just got back on track. My life just opened up, okay? So I've been really packed with exams and stuff like that. So I apologize. And because this video is late, I'll be giving you guys a special video on Saturday. So tune in for that. I'm gonna make it up to you guys, promise. Title of this video is relationship advice. And I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips to get into a relationship and 5 steps to stay in a relationship. Now, you know, you're probably asking, how is Cameron gonna give advice? Cameron's not in a relationship. Cameron doesn't know anything. Well, you're right. That's true. However, I have been clowned and played for a fool. So who better to learn how to not be a clown than a clown? Think about it. Think about it. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. First 5 steps into getting into a relationship. Step number 1, find a good setting to meet people. Meeting people at the club, probably not the best idea. Get-togethers, church, cookouts, mutual friends, the mall. Now notice I said get-togethers and not parties, because parties usually entail drinking and other substances and people's minds aren't together, and people usually at parties are looking for hookups and not so much as relationships. So I would advise not to do that. Also, mutual friends are really good. If you have a friend who's like, hey, I know somebody, link up. Mutual friends. Plus, you like that friend, and your friend has standards, so obviously your friend knows how to pick friends, so they're gonna pick people that you're gonna like. Most likely. That's probably gonna happen. Who knows? Moving on. Start interesting conversations. Now, when I mean interesting conversations, I mean interesting conversations. Nobody wants to text back and forth and you saying what you're doing after every other text. That's gonna get you hung up, blocked, or ignored. Period. If it's just what you're doing, LOL. LOL is a conversation killer. So start by asking questions, getting to know people, maybe about their, I don't know, about childhood. I don't know. It gets kind of old sometimes, like, tell me about yourself. That's kind of like a, and I'm guilty of doing that. Like, telling someone, tell me about yourself. That's kind of, it gets old after a while. And asking people what their favorite colors are, it's just not working. So I would say interesting conversations, and a good way to start interesting conversations is go on interesting dates. Now when I mean dates, I mean actual dates. Your first meeting with someone should not be their house. No. I don't want to hear Twitter talking about some,
in my house I'm chill, I'm cool, I'm laid back. We can just relax and watch a movie.
No. You don't know that person, you need to get to know someone first, okay? In a public setting, not someone's house, that is not a good first date. You go to the park, that's for free. A museum, that's for free. You don't have to go to the movies, you don't have to go to a fancy dinner, you don't gotta go to Red Lobster, even though Red Lobster is amazing with this shit.
You gotta pay business.
You don't gotta do all that. You don't gotta spend a lot of money. Just go somewhere in public, okay? Going to someone's house on a first date is weird. You don't know that person, you don't know what they're capable of, you don't know their intentions, and you don't know what they could possibly do to you. So do not do that. Number 3, which is probably one of the most important steps, is mastering the talking phase, okay? A lot of people fuck up. The talking phase is where a lot of people fuck up. That's where relationships are made or broken, okay? It is the threshold into getting in there, all right? Here's what you gotta know about the talking stage. When you're in a talking stage with somebody, you are not in a committed relationship. You guys are not dating, you have no ties to each other, you have no commitment to each other. Meaning, when you are in a talking stage with someone, you should be talking to multiple people. Not saying that you have to, but you should. And let me tell you why. The talking stage is where you get to know somebody and you get to see who they are and see if you want to get into a relationship with them. So in the midst of the talking stage, if you see something that you don't like and you think is weird and off and you're just not feeling them, that's when you back out and it's like, all right, I don't want to be with you. That's when you see those signs. Instead of getting into a relationship with someone that you know you're not going to vibe with and then breaking up. Like, no, that's not good. So why I say you have multiple partners is you have multiple people. It's like, think of it as America's Next Top Model or The Bachelor, you know? That way, say you have four people you're talking to. One messes up, 3 other people. One messes up, 2 other people. And you keep going and you keep getting to know these guys until you meet one that you really vibe with, that you really think is above the rest, and you get into a relationship with that one. And then you cut off the rest. Keeping your options open. When you limit your options, you just fucking yourself up. And anytime you get to talking to somebody and they try to make you cut off all their people right away when you just meet them, it's a red flag. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not cut off anybody until you have a commitment, okay? If there's no commitment, there's no conversation. Number 4, and I just brought this up, looking for red flags. So, y'all, there are always signs. There are always signs, okay? To somebody and within the first 30 minutes or the first hour they want nudes, that's a red flag. If you talk to somebody and they want you to cut off other people and they're not cutting off anybody, that's a red flag. If they're super jealous and argumentative, that's a red flag. If they lie about little stuff, that's a red flag. Just look at red flags. Look at the red flags, all right? And and everybody has different standards, so you will know what you'll put up with is not what I will put up with. So when something is a red flag to you, you call it out. What I will put up with is not what you will put up with, and that's the T, period. Number 5 is make it official. Make it official. Too many times people start talking for a long time and they never have the conversation about titles. Now, people are gonna tell you,
Titles don't matter as long as we're vibing.
no, titles matter. Titles matter. And it's not about, and it's gonna sound really messed up, but like, labeling things. When you label things, it puts ownership on it. Not saying that you own a person, but like, ownership gives value. So for instance, when you own a car, your name is on the car. That way no one can just take your car and pull off with it. Because if they do that, they get arrested.
Y'all are going to jail! Period!
Alright? Ownership gives value. So if you talking to somebody and let's say y'all are not together, that person's out by themselves, and someone starts flirting with them. And it's like,
Oh yeah, you got a girlfriend?
No. I'm just talking to people.
boom. That's opening the door for them to talk to somebody else. You gotta put a title on it. Put a title on it. People are gonna tell you that titles don't matter. Titles matter. Because a title lets people know that you're serious, that you're committed, and it's going to deter the majority of people. Now, there are some people who will try to sneak their way into a relationship, and those people, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, all right? But for the majority of the population who generally are good people, they're not going to be putting up with it for too much longer. And that's the first 5 steps. 5 steps into staying in a relationship. Brah. So number 1 is making time. Now, people make time for what they want, okay? I like my free time. So no matter how busy I get, I always carve out time for myself because I care about my mental health. People make time for what they want. I get it, people are busy, people are da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but listen. You can make time to spend time with somebody. If someone is really vibing with you and they really like you and they really want you in their life, they will make time. Even if it's not a lot of time, they'll make some time. Some time, all right? So if you're talking to somebody and you guys have hung out like once every month, that person's probably not the person for you. And also acknowledging that everybody doesn't have time for a relationship. So if someone doesn't have time for you, move on. Instead of staying in the wings and waiting for that thing to blossom into something that's not gonna happen, move on. Take control of your life. Take control of it. Number 2 is
Communication.
which is where a lot of people fuck up. Now, communicating is easy. It's very, very simple. Sending a text message like, oh, I'm busy, or this came up, takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to send a text message. So anybody who says they can't communicate, they're lying. Communication is key. Saying, I'm going here, I'm going there, I can't talk to you, I'll talk to you later. Those little things matter. But leaving people in the dark, people in the dark with no evidence and no reasoning, all you're doing is opening the door for assumptions. And when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me. And that never ends well for anybody, okay? It don't end well for nobody, period. Number 3 is conflict resolution. So, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but no. Every relationship has conflict. If your relationship doesn't have conflict, no, it's not happening. No. If your relationship does not have conflict, that just means you guys are probably bottling up your feelings and your emotions and you aren't expressing the issues you're having in your relationship. That being said, everybody is different. So getting to know your partner and knowing how they deal with conflict and how they deal with issues is very, very important themselves. So if they get into it with you and they need to be alone to marinate and calm down, give them time like that. Don't be on their backs like, oh yeah, talk to me, because everybody's not like that, and you might end up making the issue much, much worse. Also, it's okay to reach out first. Like, a lot of people don't want to, double text, and listen, sometimes you gotta swallow your pride. And pride is the killer of a lot of things, okay? Pride is good, but too much will fuck you up, okay? That's all I'm saying. So know how to do conflict resolution. Whether you and your partner need time to marinate and then you come back to the issue, whether you guys just talk it out right then and there, it all depends on the person. But make sure, so when you're resolving conflicts, don't go in with the intention to fight. Go in with the intention to resolve, meaning you go in with a respectful tone, not loud, but assertive. You can be assertive and not aggressive. There's a difference. Going into aggressive and just ready to fight, you're not gonna get anywhere, and that kind of turns people off, makes them shut down. So being assertive means that you stand your ground, say how you feel, unapologetically, and you let people know that this is what you won't stand for, this is what you don't agree with, this is how you feel. Difference between being assertive and being aggressive. Find that difference, because it's important. Or bring something to the table. As Solange said, a seat at the table. You don't get a seat at the table if you ain't bringing nothing to the table. Now, I've been watching social media, as I always do, because I'm a millennial that's trapped in the social era. Or the Generation Z for 1999? So I've been seeing a lot of no guy has all five, no girl has all five. Listen, here is a very, 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 very important tip for all of you. Never require someone to have something that you do not have. So if you want someone with money, you better have money. If you want somebody with a nice body, you better have a nice body. That's my philosophy. I'm never gonna ask somebody for something that I do not physically have myself. If I don't have a lot of money, I'm not gonna require somebody I date to have a lot of money. If I am not loyal, I'm not gonna request loyalty. If I am not polite, I'm not gonna request politeness. If I'm not respectful, I'm not gonna request that. Don't request things that you cannot provide yourself. Bring something to the table. A lot of people bring a plate to the table, but no food. No. Relationships are an equal partnership. See how cute that was cute. That was really cute. Bring something to the table, okay? You can't come to the table and eat if you ain't cooking. Bring something to the table. And set standards. Set standards. Now, this also ties back into the talking phase. When you're talking to somebody, you guys should be having conversations about how you are in a relationship, what you expect in a relationship, what you tolerate, and what you won't tolerate. And the problem is with a lot of people is they get into these relationships and they don't set standards, they don't set boundaries, they don't set requirements. So when they get into this relationship with people that they don't really know like that, and start saying things that they don't like, they start lashing out in anger. However, if you go into a relationship knowing that these are the things that bother me, these are things that I don't appreciate, these are things that I will not tolerate myself, and you actively work to not do those things, you don't have problems like that. So if one of your standards is your partner can't have friends of the gender that they're attracted to, that's a standard for you. I think it's a dumbass standard, but you set standards, but everybody's standards are different. If you don't want them posting revealing photos on social media, that's a standard that you guys set. Now, everybody may not agree with the standards, but people's relationships are their relationships. That's how they deal with their relationships. So on the inside out, it may look weird that, oh wow, he can't have female friends. Oh wow, he can't hug people. Oh wow, he can't like girls' photos. That may seem really aggressive and possessive and toxic in a toxic relationship. However, it's not your relationship, people on the outside. Everybody has a different relationship and have different standards. And if both parties have agreed to the standards, you need to sit out of it. It's none of your business. Period. Okay? That's the end of this video. Y'all, I just want to bring y'all a cute little video, something cute, something small, something nice. Follow me on social media. It's probably gonna happen at the beginning of the video. The little social media thing is gonna happen at the bottom. Follow me on social media. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I hope you guys are enjoying your beginning to November. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful,